So Monumental 3 is a large phase 3 study conducted in patients with early relapse, patients with relapsed refractory multiple myeloma, at least one prior line of therapy, comparing the standard of care daratumumab to two different experimental arms, daratumumab and talquetamab, or daratumumab, talquetamab, and pomalidomide. And so the study met its primary endpoint, showing that the combination of talquetamab with daratumumab, with or without pomalidomide, prolonged significantly the progression-free survival as opposed to the use of daratumumab. And we also have a numerically and clinically relevant overall survival advantage over DPD. And responses were more common with talquetamab, MRD negativity more frequent with talquetamab, both with DARA and POM or with DARA. So basically, Monumental 3 establishes DARA-TAL with or without POM as a new standard of care for patients with relapsed myeloma as early as the second line of treatment. So TEC9 is an extremely important study. It's a phase 3 study that is comparing teclistamab monotherapy to standard of care treatment, either PVD or KD, in patients with 1 to 3 lines of therapy. But importantly, patients had to be exposed to lenalidomide and daratumumab. And this is a common treatment that we use in early lines, even upfront. So it's targeting a population that is currently an unmet need in this setting. And teclistamab monotherapy met the primary endpoint of the study, prolonged the progression-free survival as opposed to standard of care treatment. But at an early time point, already 18 months, we have also an overall survival advantage favoring teclistamab. So this results from TEC9 clearly establish the teclistamab as a new standard of care as early as the second line treatment. And along with the results from TEC3, in combination with TEC and DARA, this clearly established teclistamab-based regimen as the standard of care for these patients. So CEPHEUS is a phase 3 study that has established the superiority of a quadruplet, so VRd plus daratumumab, over the use of the old standard of care VRd. So, and therefore it has introduced quadruplets for the treatment of all the patients that were transplant ineligible or chose to defer transplant. At this longer follow-up, we have updated results on sustained MRD negativity, so patients who were able to sustain MRD negativity, and clearly with the use of daratumumab upfront, the rate of patients who achieve but also sustained MRD is higher, superior than VRd alone. Is also providing nice results in terms of progression-free survival. We don't have a median progression-free survival, but clearly use of a quadruplet in patients who are fit to receive such treatment will result in a highly durable response and very prolonged PFS. So we had at this EHA a lot of data for bispecific antibodies. We have data on their use in early lines of therapy, TEC9, Monumental 3, but also TEC3 in high-risk patients. But we also have some data for the use of bispecific upfront. For example, TEC4 that is investigating teclistamab as a post-transplant maintenance with or without lenalidomide. So altogether, the message is clear. Bispecific antibodies are moving in early lines of treatment as early as the second line. And I think this is going to be the future tomorrow when these combinations will be available worldwide. But I also think that the data that we're collecting clearly indicate that this treatment will be part of the initial treatment of multiple myeloma, both in transplant eligible and in transplant ineligible. We're seeing incredible transformation from the immunotherapy. Bispecific antibodies, CAR T-cell therapy, and even ADC are really reshaping the way we approach multiple myeloma. And while we are now reshaping the standard of care in early lines of treatment, but at relapse, I think the highest impact of this drug we will actually see in frontline. So we're very excited about the CAR T-cell therapy, the in vivo CAR, the way bispecific will integrate in the treatment algorithm and the combination diagnosis, potentially also allow us to give them in a fixed duration fashion. So I think immunotherapy in general, understanding mechanisms of action, mechanisms of resistance, and how to improve is really the most exciting field in our community.